Welcome, everybody. Today is a beautiful day. It's sunny outside and it's just great. Yes. And today we're going to talk about karmics, the forms that karmics come in. And so that we could not be just focused on the twins karmic, we're going to be focusing on the karmics that are around us that we have also. And let's begin. Okay, so I know everybody knows about that karmic that the twin is with. And we think there's some big bad situation, but in actual fact, those karmics are there and they're serving their purpose. Their purpose is to keep the twins apart temporarily. And why they're doing that is because we have to yearn for that twin so that we could get our special abilities, our spiritual abilities, our truth. And they are also helping that karmic to break their family blocks. That's more important. I remember my twin and I were discussing how he was very unhappy with his situation because it was escalating really a lot. And he wanted out, and by then I had learned that the thing that twins are not able to do is come in between a couple, yet the twin, because if we do, we're more on the ego side than the spiritual side. So I was still just learning about all of that because it's only been, I'm going to say, like a year that I've found out that I've been a twin. I knew there was something before that because I've known him for 7 years. And um and so it took time to for me to understand that, because in the beginning I wanted him out of that abusive relationship. And so I had to come to terms with, hey, that's more my ego wanting him out so that he could be with me, because I think that, I'm all right. I'm not an abusive person. So, but he had to learn the physical things of this earth realm, just like how I had learned it. I did have support to get out. I had an attorney. I had the judge. That's how far mine's went. For one of them, because I've had a few abusive relationships. And so now that won't happen at all. Now I feel for people that are in those situations, because it lowers your self-esteem a lot. It confuses you more than anything. So I'm glad and happy that I'm out and I'm much stronger. I never grew up with that in my family. So uh, the reason why I went that path was because of the um, abuse, sexual abuse that took place with my cousins and things like that, where I didn't get the bulk of that, but I did get some creepy little things, So and those are karmics. Those people that prey on you are karmics, so that they could lower your frequency into a low level and you feel sort of vulnerable, growing up. And once you overcome it, you're raising your frequency. And so we had that, and then we had, I spoke of previously, when I was at school, they mentioned to be the best janitor you could be, whatever type of job you take on. So that was as I was a little child, and I always remembered it. So that was where I met my twin. So that was a premonition that was a trigger for me to know that I'm on the right path to meet my twin. I met him at the hospital. He was my boss. I was a housekeeper. I still am for now. And the thing is that was just a path because when my husband and I had lost our businesses, because we do real estate, and we did real estate, and we had a gas station. So when the first thing I said I'll take was anything that comes, and that happened to be it. I've been doing that for 7 years, right? 8 years. And working in the industry has allowed me to see and observe different personalities on that level. So I was able to see the scrambling. You know when they say there are crabs in a bucket, and so you actually see that low frequency, and they're loving people. Don't get me wrong, they're very loving, but you see that low frequency where they're frustrated because we've been trained to think that your position is who you are. And so you see a lot of that frustration where they are intimidated by anybody that has too much knowledge. And the main thing is not the knowledge that you have, but the knowledge that you're seeking. You know, when you're seeking spiritual knowledge, you're on a very high level and your frequency is going to be high. And it'll raise you up. So what I've come across is the gossip. They have a lot of gossip. They have a lot of envy for each other. There is not building up each other. And that's not me trying to observe them in a negative way, because what I do is when I meet them, I joke around and play a lot, right? So that could raise their frequency. We do have a few of them that do that also, you know, so we're not just coming to be critical, you know, so we're coming in and to show love, so that because as we go across and we meet people that are feeling sick in the hospital, we could, if we start off right, we could help to share that, raise their frequency so that they could get to a nice level of being healthy and overcoming all this low level frequency. So that so karmics are everywhere. Anybody that is going to try to pull anybody down, that's a low frequency. And that low frequency is what we need to try to acknowledge. Okay? So if you're gossiping or talking bad about somebody, that's a low frequency. If you're worried about how somebody's appearance is, that's a low frequency. If you're now, if you get somebody that's trying to rise above you in the material sense, and if you feel that they are good enough for it, then let's encourage it, you know, so that we could break the blocks that are on us also by feeling intimidated that someone else is above us. We come across a lot of people that will see your friendships with certain people and be envious of that, you know. So it's a lot to observe and a lot to know the different types of karmics that are out there, and be able to put yourself in a higher frequency so that you could be able to help the situation instead of enhancing it in a low frequency. Listening to the news is also a way to lower your frequency, especially when it's so much negative news out there. We have to try to raise our frequency to a positive level and be able to bring us all together. We have people that will see your programs and try to turn it into something negative. We've been programmed to try to take it away from us so that they could instill it for themselves, so you recognize all these things. You have people that all of these are karmic situations. Anything that's going to hurt anybody or any individual, it's a karmic situation. So the main key is to always observe how you're projecting yourself out there so that you could continue to raise your frequency at all times. If you notice that someone is bringing others down in a low frequency, always have a suggestion before you be critical so that you're not a karmic, so that you'll be able to bring your frequency up even higher by noticing the different stages of how we are projecting ourselves as individuals and being the best we could be. If we are the best we could be, then we're doing our part to help raise the frequency and the frequency around others. So that and even when you raise your frequency, you'll notice people will still be a little bit upset about it. Don't take that personally. Do not take that personally. Learn how to not take things personally and rise above it. You have that ability to be all you could be in a positive way. And when you meet people, try to not bring them down. I had that. I'm gonna be straight up. I had when I was growing up, I had the ability to be. I was very sort of shy because of what I went through, and I was a little bit withdrawn. And then I became really, really nice, overly nice, right? I still had a little spiciness to me. And then by the time I moved to the United States, I had to learn how to be a little bit more straight up, because I think it started when they joined up against me and my twin to get him fired. So I had to be like straight up, So I didn't allow anybody to get to that point again, So, and now we're learning, because as long as there's life, you can learn how to improve. So then I got back to how I was as younger, to be a little bit more observant and to acknowledge the truth. That's the main thing, is acknowledging the truth and always being honest with yourself, and it's a great thing. So you acknowledge that karmics come in so many different forms. They could come as family members. They could come as best friends. And they could come as co-workers. They could come in any form. So the main thing is they could come as strangers. So the main thing is acknowledging what they are, who you are. You are a supreme being with spiritual abilities when you put your mind to it. So gravitate more to the spiritual aspects of yourself so that you could put yourself in a position to be able to overcome what needs to be overcome. And we're all got good in us. Every single person. We were born with it. So let's try to focus on that. And let's try to help your twins karmic to get out of their cycle of blockages so that they'll be able to release your twin so that you too could be able to do what needs to be done in the physical realm and helping to bring heaven to earth, which is most powerful. And today, I want to let you know that I will always, always love you. Peace out. Thanks for watching Twin Flame 1111. And I would like to hear from you on how your journey is shaping out. So please, if you can, leave a comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from. That's always great to know. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share with others. Also, if you haven't subscribed and would like to hear more on the love of us all and our journey, hit the subscribe button below and the bell. Much love always.